everyone, Mary here. Welcome to my channel. I am back and I didn't break my promise. This is the second video of the month and I hope that you are going to enjoy this new series I'm going to put out. I am actually trying to, again, do some educational videos besides, showing how I do stuff. And we're almost ready for Valentine's Day. So without further ado, I'm going to show you how I did my Symbrock stickers that will be available on my shop starting this Friday. So you should already be able to buy them if everything went right, which I hope it did. You should already be able to snatch a couple of them on my shop today. So I'm excited about it. Let's get going. And of course, I just want to clarify that I wanted to do homage to that one transformation scene where Serena has all those ribbons coming out of her. And I was like, wait a minute, like Venom could technically do that. Like if we are in my perfect ideal world where I am hired by Marvel to make a small video of it, Venom will definitely cover Eddie that way, like Sailor Moon style in a parody. That's the best and only way I would accept it to overcome Eddie. So yeah, that was what happened, and I was looking for that very specific reference, but once we got it, it was smooth sailing. Did you know that in the movie Venom, when Eddie refers to the symbiote as a parasite, he's not technically wrong. According to National Geographic Research Library, symbiosis is a term describing any relationship or interaction between two dissimilar organisms, which means some species that do not look alike. The specific kind of symbiosis depends on whether either or both organisms benefit from this relationship. Symbiosis comes from the Greek living together or together. Symbiosis can be achieved in three ways. It can be mutualistic, commensalistic, or parasitic. And we all know what Eddie was referring to. The third one. Mutualistic symbiosis happens when two individuals from different species benefit from the relationship. One of the easiest examples to take is the anemone and the clownfish. Both of them benefit from having each other around, as they both ward the predators of the other species. A second type of symbiosis is commensalism. In this kind of symbiosis, the host species doesn't benefit or is harmed from the relationship, and the symbiote lives with, on, or inside the other species. Commensalism, it's derived from the English word commensal, used for human social interaction. It derives from the medieval Latin word meaning sharing food, formed with com, with, and mensa, table. Commensal relationships may involve one organism using the other one for transportation or for housing. A common example of this would be barnacles on the top of whales and ships. While the ship and the whale are not exactly harmed by the presence of a barnacle, besides, being an eyesore, the barnacles benefit greatly because the movement that the body makes will take them eventually to more plankton-rich waters, which is what they eat, and thus helping them score a meal. It may also involve one organism using something another one created after it's dead. This is called metaviosis. Some examples of metaviosis are the hermit crabs that use gastropod shells to protect their bodies, which of course doesn't benefit at all the dead gastropod shell, but hey, it works for the hermit crab. So yeah, that's commensalism. The last one is parasitism. In a parasitic relationship, The parasite benefits while the host is harmed. This means the parasite will live in, on, or with the host. While it might not immediately cause a game over on the host, it will most likely sicken it over time. Remember how we mentioned that whales and barnacles lived in a commensalism relationship? Well, barnacles are actually parasitic to other fishes. If they attach to another fish, they will most likely cause a game over. Statistically speaking, parasitism is an extremely successful mode of life. About 40% of all animal species are parasites, and the average mammal species is host for 4 nematodes, 2 cystodes, and 3 trematodes. So, eyes sharp, everyone. So in honor of that, I am going to talk more about commensalism because I think that's the kind of relationship they have. Of course, I could be wrong, but hey, I like talking about fishes. And do you know what other commensalism relationship exists? Remoras and sharks. And I'm a slut for sharks. So here we go. For anybody who hasn't seen a remora, but you have played Animal Crossing, you might have found them in your summer months. These little knickers have evolved on top of their heads a flat oval sucking disc structure that lets them attach themselves to the body of their host, albeit being a shark. Both remoras and pilot fishes feed on the leftovers of their host's meals. They also hitch rides alongside the shark, allowing them to travel to different areas, sometimes thousands of kilometers, without having to spend a single calorie of their own to swim. And since the sharks are mostly unaffected by their presence, they just let them be. Believe it or not, the definition of symbiosis has been a hot debate for scientists, mostly for the last 100 years or so. In 1877, Albert Bernard Frank used the term symbiosis to describe the mutualistic relationship in lichens. And then in the 78, another German microbiologist, Herning Anton de Vary, defined it as living together of unlike organisms. And then everybody started adding to their soup, advocating that some should only refer to persistent mutualisms, while others thought that it should really apply to all kinds of relationships, which eventually evolved in the division of symbiosis into mutualism, commensalism, and parasitism, but excluding brief interactions like predation, because there is a relationship between a host and the prey, but it's not really a relationship. It does help. I see why they had a little bit of issue honing down the specifics, but predation is not considered a symbiotic relationship, regardless that if you think about it, yes, a prey would technically help a host, in which I think that would be a parasitic relationship. I don't know. What do you think? So this is it. I hope that you guys liked the video, that you learned a little bit, and that you thought me rambling about how an alien technically fell in love with a human and had a child ended up being a commensalism relationship. It's worth your time. I am so sorry. I love this, and I hope that you had fun at least. So, thanks so much for watching, and see you next time. Bye!